Saw on Fox last night, Cal Raleigh goes yard on Gossman. Kevin Gossman. I thought a couple things.
Gassman would be a cooler name, though.
Yeah, I mean,
if
that's
we're being
his
honest.
nickname if it isn't.
The Gas Man.
Yeah. 15-inning game that you survive at home and then fly to Toronto 2 days later, play game one. I said before the show to you, I honestly was like, weird things happen in sports, and when we think teams can least do it is sometimes when they do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised they won. I was more shocked and impressed by just the pitching. I mean, Bryce Miller was unbelievable.
They needed him to be, too, because they used every arm in their arsenal 48 hours earlier.
Yes, they did. They had two starters. Gilbert and Castillo pitched in that 15 inning.
Yeah.
And so then they go to the bullpen, and they ended it exactly 100 pitches, 1 run given up, and it was the first pitch the game Springer went yard.
That was it. That was the only offense they had.
Yeah, what did they retire? 23 of the final 24 batters that Toronto put up to the plate. They retired them and just completely shell-shocked the city of Toronto. An impressive game one by Seattle, and it wasn't just that they did it, Dirt. I thought Dan Wilson outmanaged the Toronto guy. I thought he did little things here and there that, if I was Toronto's manager, it's easy to say, your guys, you've been with it 160-plus games. I would have left Gossman in. I wouldn't have pulled him even after the home run and the walk.
His pitch count wasn't that high.
No.
I don't even, about 80 pitches, somewhere around there.
You got to trust your studs.
Yeah.
And then, the lesser of Brandon's comes in, Brendan Little. And he gives up the run that goes ahead, and I'm just like, I would have left my guy in. Wilson let Miller go a little bit, even after the walk.
Yeah.
I thought Dan Wilson managed a great game, but also the Mariners played exceptionally well.
They did. I mean, they needed a dominant performance from their pitching staff, and they got it. It was a really bad omen to start the game. When you give up a home run on the first pitch, it's like, uh-oh, that's not a good feeling. This might not be our day. We're just happy to be here, maybe. And then that was it for Toronto. They had 2 hits the rest of the game. It was insane how well their pitching staff performed. They desperately needed a long start from their guy, and they got it because they had to use so many arms on Friday night. And then, the thing with Gossman is he throws so many. I remember him. He was a Giant a couple of years ago. He's been a really good pitcher for them for a number of years. He's been one of the more consistent arms in all of Major League Baseball. He throws that splitter constantly, and Cal Raleigh just sat on one. He finally got one that was high enough that he could get his bat on it, and he wasn't chasing something in the dirt. And when he hit that, you kind of felt like all the momentum was back on their side, and they were going to find a way back into this because there was nothing that Toronto was doing offensively that was scaring you at that point. They were getting no pressure, no base runners, no guys in scoring. It wasn't like it was every inning Seattle's getting out of a jam. Oh my God, how did they do that? There was nothing. They had no offense.
2 pitch at bats mostly.
That was it. Just boom, boom, pop out, boom, boom, ground out, strike out. I mean, just over. As somebody who loves quick baseball games, I loved every second of that thing because it felt like it was over in barely 2 hours. You mentioned the 100 pitches that Seattle threw. I think that's the lowest that we've seen in a playoff game from a staff in a win since 2018. The Dodgers did that to the Brewers. I saw that stat floating around last night. And that was a Toronto offense. If you go back to watch their series against the Yankees, it carried them. That's how they were smoking New York's pitching and hitting bomb after bomb. And Vladdy Jr. had multiple home runs and a grand slam. And that's how they got out of the divisional round to get to the LCS. And then in game one, you shut them down. And so now you've already accomplished what you needed to accomplish. You just wanted to go get a split in Toronto. You've already done that. You're playing with house money today. You got all the momentum and all the pressures on Toronto's side. You're feeling great if you're a Mariner fan right now.
So today's first pitch is a 103. Do I have that correct?
1 o'clock first pitch.
So it's Logan Gilbert who did pitch in that 15-inning game. I think he pitched
2 innings, 3
2
innings?
or 3. Yeah,
somewhere
I
in
think
there.
it was that. And then he's going against that Ye Savage kid.
Yes.
Or guy. I don't know how old that guy.
Yeah.
One of those players.
Whatever.
He was really good in what I saw.
He was.
I'm learning about the Toronto Blue Jays as we go here. I know some of their players, but
Did you guys say 1 o'clock?
I don't know. What's the time difference?
2:03. It's a 2:03.
Oh, 2 o'clock. Okay.
I'm all mixed up on my time zones, and then my computer is East Coast, but then it says
That doesn't help.
Yeah, it certainly throws me off.
Yeah, I'm just bad with math, so I counted wrong. It is a
That's
2
okay.
o'clock. 2 o'clock start time.
It's an afternoon first
Still,
pitch.
a middle of the day game 2 in the ALCS, which you get on these games. It always drives fans crazy, and I totally understand it. But this is what happens when both series are happening on the same day. They're not going to put the games head to head against each other. I'd prefer that they just stagger them, but then you become the NBA,
Yeah,
right?
you
When
don't
you're
wanna
giving
miss-
long lays
right,
off in between
right.
games, and
I think this is the right way to do it, as frustrating as it might be. But can we be honest here? I would say in the post-COVID world, I know a decent enough people that work from home
Dude, you find a way
to know
watch
that
it.
you're not really working from home all day.
Yeah, you have it on your phone at your desk if you need to.
And we have people in our office that are, Look, I love our sales staff. I also know that our sales staff find ways to watch TV while they're here.
Yes.
So I think people will figure it out, and then people that are not working at that time, people will watch their team no matter what. I don't know where M's fans are. They're probably sitting in a place of extreme confidence, but / like don't want to get over your skis because you want it all to settle.
Yeah.
I will just tell you, I look at this and I say, I go back to my question that you chuckled at, and rightfully so, given the history.
Sure.
This team feels a little different. There's something like Polanco was kind of left for dead, and now he can't stop hitting in every RBI opportunity possible. So
been huge in the postseason for him.
Raleigh's been absolutely a beast. Julio doesn't have as many gone yard, or his average isn't amazing, but I
Sure.
still think he is a threat every time he gets up. You're always nervous about a Rosarena. Like,
Yeah.
the M's lineup, you get Naylor in there. Like, I just, you kind of look at the M's lineup pair with the pitching, and I feel quietly confident. I wouldn't want to tell it to anybody if I was an M's fan, but I'd be thinking like, oh, I love this. This team feels good.
You feel great right now, dude. You got a 1-0 lead in the ALCS, and that was a game that you were almost left for dead of like, they're probably not going to win. They got to be hungover off all the champagne from Friday night. And I don't know if you know this, but Seattle to Toronto is a pretty long flight that you got to go on. And so you're coming in hungover to game one, and you still found a way to win. You're feeling great. If you win today, if you win this afternoon, and you win both games in Toronto, and you're coming home to Seattle with 2 wins away from the World Series.
Who would their game 3 guy be? Castillo?
I would imagine so. It should be noted, too, by the way,
or Kirby. It'd probably be Kirby, right? Because Kirby's on more rest, isn't he?
See. They have not announced yet their game 3 starter.
Well, I guess the definition of rest at this point for that M's team,
I think Kirby
it's
started the
changed.
game. Castillo
Yeah.
came in. Castillo's not going today, so I'd imagine Castillo game 3, Kirby game 4. I'd imagine, but who knows? Maybe you change it up a little bit. If there's you want to keep Castillo for game 4, they can kind of change up how they want to do it. For the scheduling note, though, this is, I believe, the only time this will happen. So for game 4s on Thursday, it'll be game 3 of the NLCS. You are the late game that night. The Dodgers and Brewers is the earlier start time.
Yeah.
So you're going to get it switched back and forth. Friday, it looks like if there is a game 5, if necessary in Seattle, that'll be an earlier start time. So it'll flip-flop at least a little bit. This is the one that you have to deal with in the middle of the day. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Mariner fan, you feel great. I think you're always cautiously optimistic, knowing your history,
Sure,
and knowing the pain that would cause if you lose 3 or 4 in a row and you lose in 5, and you're like, man, we were that close to getting there. But all the momentum is on your side, and now you got to go try and ride it as long as you can, including today. If you take a 2-0 series lead back to Seattle, you're feeling incredible about your chances of going to the World Series.
That's what I would think too.
Yes. So today's a pretty big one for you.
3 wins away, man. We'll have to wait and see, but they get game 1 on the road in Toronto, and we'll see what they do in game 2. 2:03 p.m. first pitch. Gilbert versus Ye Savage.